Hello, I'm Gauze, and this is Compion, my channel documenting my journey towards a more fulfilling life through competence and connection. My current project is on mindful creative productivity, where I'm giving myself weekly themes and topics to pay attention to as I go about the goals in my life. I produce a piece of poetry from my insights and experiences that week and share both my poems and reflections. And this week's theme has been hope. I initially set out to explore the pros and cons of hope with the goal of figuring out what it does for me and what are the healthy and unhealthy ways it impacts me in my day to day life. This week, I've been trying to increase how much I exercise, trying to get a bit more steps in, trying to go to the gym every weekday if possible. Um, Trying to increase the amount that I'm learning Spanish, so I'm trying to increase my commitment towards that a little bit. And I've also been doing some STEM outreach with work, and that's been really interesting to explore a little bit about seeing how hopeful the younger generations, or not hopeful the younger generations are at times, and what can sometimes be done to inspire some hope in them. And my insights from that this week have led to the poem called The Weight of Hope. Enjoy. I hope to wake as someone new, lighter, sharper, nearer to. A mind that hums, a body at ease, a self that fits, no need to please. Yet every morning I find the same, hope's bright spark, yet nothing changed. Hope is a weight that pulls me high, only to drop me from the sky. Each wish I held, each dream I fed, turns hollow once the time has fled. Was hope the hand that led me here, or just a voice that made loss clear? Too much hope, and I stand still, waiting for change against my will. Too little, and I sit undone, no road to walk, no race to run. Hope must burn bright, but not too bright. A steady flame, a guiding light. Let hope be seeds the young will sow, to build what time won't let us know. A world beyond what we can see, a hope fulfilled and lives yet free. Though we may stop, they will go on. Hope outlives the setting sun. Welcome back, and thank you for listening to the poem. Before we get into the reflection section, if you're liking the video so far, please do leave a like and even subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos. So, reflections. Exploring hope this week was an interesting one. The first and second sections of this poem were about me struggling with balancing my focus on all the things that I've got going on in my life right now. I'm planning some trips, I'm organizing a stag do, I've obviously got my day to day work, I'm trying to learn a new language, and I found myself hoping that I was a little bit better than I currently am. And that was potentially a little bit unrealistic, and when I couldn't live up to that particular ideal, it made me less motivated to continue steadily moving those things along. I focused on that feeling a little bit more, and with some extra prodding, it became evident that I was, obviously pushing myself to a standard that wasn't representative of where I was currently at, and that discrepancy was causing that feeling of being unmotivated. And I think that's also tied to my experience in life of, if I'm not the one to move something along or keep it together, it doesn't happen or it falls apart. That helped me realize, I suppose, or also conclude to some degree, that unless I see results or progress or some evidence um, along those lines, I'm not really the type of person to be hopeful that things will just kind of work out or come together. I also realized that that wasn't the end of it, though. I must have some hope in myself that my efforts could eventually bring about the results I wanted, otherwise I wouldn't be doing this in the first place too. And I also thought about the other end of the spectrum for this. If I was extremely hopeful that something would happen without my input, I don't think I'd be inclined to do anything, as I would kind of believe it would just land in my lap. Almost like imagining the not so hopeful version of myself being the one that's doing stuff, and the very hopeful version of myself being the one that just receives it. It's almost like a kind of creating or receiving hope for yourself. And I kind of concluded in that section that keeping my expectations in line with reality was essential to maintaining the right amount of hope and motivation for me, which is what inspired that third section around balancing. I also mentioned a little bit earlier that I've been doing some work with STEM outreach. So I've been engaging with students, and my interactions with them had me thinking about how we keep a good balance of hope in the generations that come after us. those that will continue on the things that we cannot complete. And that's what inspired the last section about hope outliving the setting sun. So this week, I settled on the main phrase being a question, really. And that phrase is hope. Are you the source or the recipient? And that's all. Please leave a comment below if anything resonated with you, if there are any other themes you'd like to see, and also share this with others if you enjoyed the video or feel they could do with hearing whatever I have to say. Next week's theme will come from what I mentioned I was struggling with this week: focus. See you then.